Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, Rightmove came out with their latest house price data this week, and it's all about mortgages at the moment. That's dominating it. Rightmove have a really handy mortgage calculator on their website. You can basically find out roughly how much you could borrow based on your deposit, affordability, and hits to that particular point of their site have gone up 53% in the last couple of weeks. I mean, interest rates are obviously rising. So a typical 2-year fixed about 4 years ago was about 4.5%, and now for someone with an 85% mortgage requirement, that's about 5.2. Sorry, that's a big 0.7% over the last 4 weeks, which doesn't reflect what happened with base rate, and that's of course because the banks are suddenly concerned that long-term money is going to cost them more, and they're raising their rates accordingly. You can still get some good deals if you've got a good deposit, but yeah, it is dominating the headlines and it's filtering through to the rental market. So rentals are, the amount that you pay is up heavily. There's lots of talk about how they've been rising exponentially. They've gone up about 10.6% a year during the pandemic, and that's mainly because of the rising costs of those landlords in terms of keeping those rental properties. So if their mortgages are going up, if their cost of living expenses are going up, then obviously that all reflects through to the rental price that you can attract. And many people now are finding it very, very difficult to get onto even have a rental property. There's certainly some areas that have been hit worse than others. So London, rents are up about 13%. Here in the southeast, they're up closer to 11%. But we are finding that you need to be careful now as an owner, as we call our landlords, owners, because our residents, our tenants, that's what we call them, they do have a good sense of value, and there are property prices now where the rents have got too high and they're just sticking a little bit. So a little bit more caution there for anybody setting a new rental price. Always interesting, most landlords, owners, would want to keep the same tenant in for quite a while. They'd have to feel out of pace with current rent by about 20% before they would look to take a proactive measure to raise that rent and possibly lose who is a very, very good resident of that property. So yeah, interesting that more, landlords are really, really concerned about their property's welfare as much as anything. Well, two lovely rental properties. Let's show you these that we've got on our books at the moment. This lovely 2-bedroom property you're seeing here now is just steps away from me here on the Pantiles. Down it's a lovely little Muse house. It's got secure underground parking, 2 bedrooms, and on for £2,300 per calendar month. And how about this one, looking at a real beautiful property. These kind of properties don't often come to market in the rental market. This property is called Highfield. It's just outside, it's just in the village of Bellsview Green, which actually has got Frant mainline station. That's always a bit confusing. So it's a few minutes drive away from Tunbridge Wells, and it is a beauty of a property, really, really spacious. You've got masses of accommodation, about 6,000 square feet actually, various outbuildings, barns, lovely setting, really good grounds, beautiful views, and on at £6,250 per calendar month. So two really lovely rental properties that we have there. Give us a call if they're of interest. Well, as I sit here now, it's Tuesday morning and I'm just looking out. We have had an absolute rain dump here. Pantiles is flooded behind me. There's water cascading down the London road. And of course, we've had this lovely sunshine. So I just thought I'd spend a couple of minutes talking about how the weather affects the property market. We're obsessed, aren't we, in this country about talking about property and weather. They're probably our two biggest things we like to talk about. And the weather actually does have a really big, strong part to play on the housing market. So most buyers actually like to search for a property in more what's called normal weather. So they don't like it to be really hot. They'd rather it's not tipping it down with rain. They'd rather not do it in the summer holidays or when the kids are off. They'd rather hunt in normal weather. But most sellers take their property to market, think it looks its best, or want to push. It tends to be July and August, interestingly, because sun is really shining, their properties look better, and that's when they want to go to market. You do sell more properties categorically when the sun shines. So people's spirits are raised, properties look great, everyone's feeling a bit happy, and we do tend to sell more properties, except for cottages. So cottages can be really tricky to sell on a really summer's day because you have that contrast. You come out, so you're outside, it's happy and sunny, you go inside, they're much more smaller windows, beamy, small ceilings, darker wood. They can feel quite dark. So cottages, much better in the winter. If you've got a really good garden always take that to market in the spring and summer months. It's one of the big assets of your property, so show it to its absolute best. But ultimately, timing needs to be right for you. We're coming to the end now of the spring market. It had a delayed start because we had such a long, cold winter. It's now well underway. It's already showing signs of cooling a little bit as we gear up to all those mad end-of-term activities that parents have to go through. So yeah, it's already calming down a little bit, but definitely if you want to time your property sale to get the best possible result, then go to market in those nice warmer months when your house will look its best, but not too hot, and certainly avoid August. And if you basically just need to get to market when you need to get to market, you've just got to press on. I wouldn't worry too much about timing the market. If something drives you to do it, or you see something you like, you've just got to press on. But if you can time it and you've got a great garden, just wait a bit. I thought that might be of interest to you. I'm going to go see what's happening to the Pantals now. I do hope all my fairly lovely traders are okay. I hope you're okay as well. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.